Did you write that?
You're listening to The Tuesday Club with Sean and Kyle.
Today we have got the incredible Sam Heughan on the podcast. Hello, Sam.
Wow, what an introduction, my friend. Thank you so much. That's really kind of the nicest thing you've ever said to me, to be honest. Generally abuse. How are you, gentlemen? Nice to meet you. Hi, Sean. How you going?
Yeah, hi, Sam. Hey, thanks for coming on. It's just nice to see you because, you know, Kyle reckons you're big mates, and I can sort of see that there is something there. He tries to pretend he's got all these mates, but, you know, it might, over this course of this podcast, we might see that you have some sort of affinity.
Yeah, I think you'll find actually that no one on the cast, certainly of Outlander, is actually friends with him. He just, hangs around, tries to befriend them, calls them. I've been putting this off, obviously, for quite a while, but finally, I found my address. So
I noticed that. He's the same. He's the same around Welsh rugby players, man. He tries to befriend them all, but they all just pie him all the time, especially on social media. It's hilarious. I love it.
Well, that's true, actually. So, jumping into rugby there, vaguely, I knew Stuart Hogg and a couple others through social media. And I think Kyle can probably tell the story better, but I believe you met him on a plane, didn't you? And you just wouldn't leave him alone. And now... Well,
that's not quite how it went, but go on, you can carry on with it if you want. This is going to be a Kyle bashing podcast. That's what this theme is starting to become now. Every week we just take the piss out of Kyle.
Yeah.
So, and I just to clarify to all our listeners, I don't hound anyone on social media. Thank you very much, and I get paid. Sean,
he does like to go into a little huff occasionally, and
like I just did,
like he just did, and he goes very quiet, and so that's
we love him really, Sam. But thanks for coming on, mate, because you're stuck in Hawaii in this isolation, and you how on earth did you get there filming?
Yeah, well, those words "stuck in Hawaii" don't sound so bad, do they? But I mean, I'm here. Yeah, I came here just before they sort of implemented the travel ban, and to be totally frank, I thought, what better place to be stuck? I've been here a while. I keep extending it. I'm a bit worried to go back to the UK, to be honest, at the moment. I think they're about to peak, so I'm going to try and sit it out another couple of weeks. But it's a great place to be. I can't complain at all.
Always looks good in the films, anyway.
It does. I can see you just staring at me like, God damn it! I can't even leave my bedroom. But it's lovely here. And actually, I've been working away. It's been perfect because I've got a book deal that I've been working on. So I've been writing a lot, or at least staring at a blank screen quite a lot.
Mate, it's a little bit surreal because obviously because Kyle is in Outlander, not just because Kyle's in Outlander, but since we've been doing the Tuesday Club, I've started watching it, and I'm at the end of season 2. Right. And there's a couple of things for me. It's so surreal meeting you and seeing you like this. But one, fantastic, brilliant by you, by the way. You play a great character. But secondly, every episode you're in bed with Katrina Balfe. I mean, come on.
It's a tough job. Yeah, I know. As long as I don't have to be in bed with Kyle, it's fine. But it's no, she's a fantastic. And has she not been on with you guys?
Yeah, she wanted to go. Yeah, she had nothing but good things to say about you. Obviously,
really, really fantastic girl, and such a great actress. So supportive as a co-star, and she's had to put up with me for 6 years now. So I feel very fortunate, and we're supposed to be filming actually end of this month on Outlander, and so it's all been pushed back, but. Now that we're producers, it's been really nice part of that process to sort of be involved more in the script side of the show.
I'm about to get to season 3, and then obviously a little bit later, Kyle comes into it, and
just wait.
I just don't want it to spoil it. I'm enjoying it,
I'm not in it enough to spoil it. I'm not in it enough to spoil it.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. He comes in the season. Actually, you came in season 4, didn't you, Kyle?
Yeah, briefly. Yeah.
And he plays this fantastic character. So if you haven't watched it and you're looking for something to binge, it's ideal material.
It's good. That's what I said to everyone. Like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago on the podcast that years ago, obviously when you and Kat both started it was 6 years ago now, something like that.
Yeah.
24, 25, and whether it's a maturing thing, somebody sent me a message, and they were like, "Oh yeah, what are you watching?" And I was like, "I just finished Sons of Anarchy, House of Cards. What do you want to watch?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know, give me something new." And they said Outlander, so I put it on. And I was like, "Ah, do you know what? Period stuff. Like I hated Downton Abbey at that point. I've watched it since, loved it, but I just couldn't get into it. And then before coming on the show, never really picked it up again. But then when we started season 5, I thought, you know what, Amy then started going, oh, let's watch it. And after, I don't know whether it was because I've 30, 31 now, matured a little bit at least, but we watched 4 seasons within 2 weeks, I think it was.
What's been amazing is, the show is now on Netflix, around the world, as well as being on Stars. And I think that's really given us a new audience and a new lease of life as well. So
Sam,
stay safe, binge. Yeah.
Because we'll get a load of listeners now because you're on, Outlander fans. When Katrina was on, we just spiked hugely, which is great. My eldest son has started. He's behind me now, so he's coming into season 2. I got to ask you, mate, about acting with Tobias Menzies, who is playing 2 characters, isn't he? He's playing obviously in different times. For those who watch it, they know what I'm on about. And but there's a couple of scenes where you're incarcerated and he approaches you and that. How long did that scene take to film, and what was it like? Because it was really intense.
Yeah, I think you're talking obviously about the end of season 1, and my character basically gets sexually assaulted by Tobias's character. And yeah, to be honest, when I first read it in the book, I thought, I hope they're not going to do this, but but we did. And I think in this day and age, I'm not sure they would have gone to that full extent. I think they wouldn't have shown as much. It was very graphic, and it was tough. It was a week, probably almost a week of shooting, and because I have all these prosthetics, I have a lot of injuries. My hand is nailed to the table, so covered in mud and blood. So I'd probably be in makeup from around 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, for about 3 hours, and then shoot all day. And then they'd have to take the makeup off. So it was a pretty intense time, to be totally honest. And Tobias is a absolute professional. He's an amazing actor. People have seen him now in The Crown and in other productions as well. And he's brilliant on stage too. But yeah, it was good. I think we didn't really hang out a lot during that time. Let's say that we weren't best friends. But yeah, it's challenging viewing as well, I think. But
it is.
It's such a great character, and one of my favorite parts is not to give away too many spoilers, but in the beginning of season 2, was it beginning of season 2? Season 3. Sorry, and we see the Battle of Culloden, and you see that character's demise. It's it's pretty cool sequence.
Mm. It was even when obviously we were filming season 5 when I just got to the end of all 4 seasons that have come out, and it was difficult for me as well, because obviously when I joined season 4, straight in we're working with you and Kat, and like I said, when Kat was on, I've never got into a job where 2 people basically are the 2 leads of the show, but I've welcomed people and make them feel at ease, and like me and you hit it off straight away with the rugby link and all that type of stuff. But even watching those scenes, like coming to work then next week, was like, just wanted, like, I wasn't as ballsy as Sean. I didn't come up to you and just be like, oh, what was it like doing that scene then?
You wouldn't look me in the eye. No, I mean, the show is, that's what I think what's amazing about the show. There's always it's quite challenging in ways. Some people may have perceived it as just a romance show, but there's so much in it. There's history, there's romance, time travel. It's sexy at times, and quite dark as well. So there's so much going on in them, and I think that's what captures people. That there's more to the show than just what people imagine from looking at the cover.
Yeah, and for me, you guys make them so believable as characters, and it's a great storyline. So I'm really looking forward to season 3, which will be mine now. I got to say as well, I like to keep myself in shape. I'm a bit older than you, Sam, but you clearly do. My wife is a big fan, by the way. What are you doing? What are you doing to keep fit? You're going to have to keep yourself in shape, of course. Have you got a routine? Are you working out?
Yeah, so obviously, with what's going on in the world right now, it's pretty tough, and I think everyone's online now, trying to find new ways. Is that a beer you're drinking? Fantastic. Cheers. And I think I have a charity basically called My Peak Challenge, a charity fundraiser that we created a few years ago. And briefly, it's basically an online fitness subscriber service. Every day you get a video workout, which is all completely scalable. There's sort of a meal plan. There's a forum, community forum. But 50% of all that goes to charity, and we've raised over $5 million for charity. But what we've done, it's amazing, and we wish we could do more, and we are trying to work out new ways. And one of the ways we've tried to help during this is we've created a free 30-day fitness program. So you can download it. It's absolutely free. Anyone can do it, and you can do it anywhere. There's, you don't need weights or anything like that. So yeah, we're just trying to help in any way we can, I guess.
And how can we get hold of that, Sam? Is it My Peak Challenge? Is it a website, an app?
On our Instagram or social, and on our website as well. It'll direct you to, and even on my profile, you can download it, and it's 30-day social distancing challenge. And yeah, there's like a workout every day, and there's yoga as well, live streamed yoga, so you can give that a go, Kyle, and make sure that you're getting your downward dog every day.
Oh, absolutely, mate. I've already got my mat waiting.
Don't wish to see that.
So yeah, obviously the last couple of years, mate, for yourself, it's been obviously Outlander sort of give you that stepping stone up. But the last couple of years, you've been mental busy. Obviously, when we're working, just listening to some of the things that you're doing, you're all over the place. You're all over the world, whether you're doing charity events or being made a doctor of certain things in different universities or filming.
Right.
A couple of things that you've done over the last couple of years. One was the movie Spy Who Dumped Me, and most recently as well, which I watched a couple of weeks ago, was Bloodshot.
No.
How was that?
Sounds like you've been reading my Wikipedia.
No, I watched it the other week. I texted you saying I'm watching it now, and you were like, yeah, boy, you enjoy. And I didn't enjoy. Sorry.
You didn't? No. Well, that's because you weren't in it, right? Yeah.
So yeah, you've been mental, mate. You've been busy.
Yeah, it's been busy. It's been great. Obviously, Bloodshot just came out right as this all started. The sort of shutdown and COVID. So it was a kind of a difficult time actually, because I think Sony were trying to work out whether they should release it or not, and they sort of decided to go ahead with it. And I was in Los Angeles at the time doing a lot of press, and obviously the numbers started coming out and the virus started spreading, and I think people got very scared, rightly so. And I think it was a tough place to be for us, because we were having to promote the film, but one part of our job was to do that. The other side, you're thinking, really people should stay safe and not go to cinemas, etc. So long story, the box office wasn't great, but fortunately what they've done is they've released it online now, and as you said, you can watch it, and I'm really proud of it. It's such a cool story. Vin Diesel's in it. He's the lead character, and what a legend, and what a great guy as well. And then I get to play this badass, so really cool movie.
Last one for me and the boys, Kyle?
Oh yeah, definitely, mate. It's an action film. Like, I was just going to go on to say, right, obviously you've been playing Jamie Fraser now, Sam, for 6 years. What was it like just going from, obviously you've done a lot of fighting, a lot of action stuff in Outlander, but obviously it was like high tech, futuristic. You had Dr. Octopus 4 arms where you could fight buildings or whatever. So obviously I've seen some of the posts you've done on Instagram, like with your training, but like before you started shooting. What was it? Obviously it was totally different to filming Outlander, but was it like, yes, I get to do something different, or,
Yeah, no, totally, mate. I think you got it. It's fantastic. So it's based on a series of comic books that have never been done before. Valiant Comics, they're like Marvel and DC, and actually they were the biggest publishing house before Marvel, and they sold a lot of their titles to Marvel. I think Venom is one of them, and it's the first one that's been made, and I guess play this guy. He's basically ex-Navy SEAL. He's lost both his legs in an IED explosion, and technology, they've rebuilt him a bit like sort of Universal Soldier or something. He's got this new technology in him, but I think, all the characters have been like upgraded, but the problem is that through that upgrade, they kind of lose a bit of their humanity. They turn a bit, and they're basically manipulating Vin Diesel's character, and he's the ultimate sort of new universal soldier kind of guy. And I play this guy he's pretty angry, to put it lightly. He's pretty angry with the world, and he's pretty angry with the military, and angry at Vin's character. So really cool. A bit of green screen work, which is different for me, but to be honest, all the fights and stuff we did for real, apart from like the last sequence in the movie. And we're in South Africa, which was amazing. I don't know if you've ever been, but such a great place. And we actually shot Outlander in South Africa as well. So I kind of knew it quite well, and worked with some friends of mine in a gym there, and it was great to go back.
Fantastic place. I've been lucky enough to go there with Rugby Sam and the Lions, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
The rugby there is amazing, isn't it? And I actually met Hugh Jones there. So I went to see the Stormers the first time I went quite a lot. And Hugh was at that point injured and just about to move to the Warriors. And we got to hang out. And actually, they won this game. And if you go to a game there, they really celebrate. Everyone's in the stands and all singing and dancing. And then they did a bit of a pitch invasion at the end. And we were with a group of people from Outlander, and our first AD, the first assistant director, went missing. We're like, where is he? And we looked down on the pitch, and right in the center of the pitch, Patrick, this Irishman, he's picking up grass off the pitch and waving to us. And he's like, I'm going to take this home. I'm taking it home with me. And
I can imagine Patrick doing that.
So proud. Yeah, it was brilliant. Going to those games was so great. Such a great experience.
It's a religion, as you know, there, rugby. I've been lucky enough to coach Springboks and go down there for series. Hoping to go for the Lions next year. Tell us a little bit about your love of rugby, Sam. I mean, are the Warriors, Glasgow Warriors, is that your team?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an Edinburgh boy, so that causes some trouble. But I moved to Glasgow, for Outlander, and actually also when I was at drama school there. So I have actually, I've been to a few of their derby games over the past couple of years, and always slightly torn which side to cheer for. But I love the Warriors. I know a few of the guys, and they're a great team. And I guess it goes back to me in my days in Edinburgh. I was a teenager and started going to see games in the days of Gregor Townsend kicking the ball, and all those years, grey years of rain and no points, no tries. So I feel like we've got so much better over the past few years, and international rugby is definitely one of my passions.
Yeah, it is. I mean, did you ever play? Because I saw the hockey scene in the field hockey scene in Outlander.
Oh, Shinty, yeah.
Shinty, yeah, that's right. It looks like you can put yourself about a bit.
Well, yeah, it's kind of similar to I guess field hockey or something. It's a Scottish and Irish sport actually, which is pretty violent. But I never played. My brother played. He played for Boroughmuir, and then I believe he went on to play for Newcastle and like their B team, I think, for a short time when he was down there. I think he got injured, but actually he told me a story recently. I only found out that I believe I'm not allowed to play rugby because during one of his games he might have accidentally headbutted someone. I mean, I don't know how this happens, and he got sent off, and I believe he gave my name as opposed to his. So I was banned for playing rugby, but he went back to play the next week. So that's I wouldn't suggest you do that now. But
well, listen, man, I know you're a big Scotland fan. If you're in between things and this Wales-Scotland match gets reorganised with Six Nations, you're welcome to come down and have some hospitality with us. We'll take you to the game and show how it was properly done.
I've been once. I went back maybe early 2000s to Millennium Stadium, and probably the last time I was there, and it was incredible. And to be honest, that moment when the Welsh started to sing, for me, was just mind-blowing. And the sort of hospitality, the sort of sharing our hip flask with everyone standing there and singing alongside them, it's just, the Welsh really do it right, And even as a teenager, I remember in Edinburgh, you go up and we go to a game and you see all the Welsh that come up to Scotland, but they don't even go to the game. They just come up to be in the city and sit in the bar. And I just love that passion and support. And yeah, great times. And we'll beat you this time.
We'll see.
I was going to think I've been to the only two places I haven't been to see Wales play is Paris and Dublin. And
right.
After, like, obviously being a Welshman, I suppose like you being a Scotsman, Murrayfield would be your favourite place to watch Scotland play. It is. Cardiff is the same for me, but whenever I've been to Murrayfield to watch Wales and Scotland, it has been probably just a touch off Cardiff for me being a Welshman. But it's my favourite place to watch rugby other than Cardiff is Edinburgh, because, like you said, everyone's up there. And I remember distinctly when I was in, me and Sam both went to the Royal Scottish Academy, but when I was there, my parents played a trick on me and they were like, we've got these tickets we need you to sell. Because we were coming up to the game, but no, we're not coming, blah, blah, blah. I was like, right, yeah, okay. And so they sent me like a load of these tickets. It was like 8 tickets. And I was like, oh, am I selling them to them? They were like, oh, there's a guy coming to meet you at your flat on Sucky Hall Street. So they were like, go downstairs. Went downstairs and like my whole family were there. Like I hadn't seen them for a year. And I was like, oh,
wow.
We all ended up going to the game. And there's I can't remember what the name of the bar was, but it was on the corner by
Roseburn.
Near the train station, not far from the train.
The Roseburn, I bet.
And it was just these guys just walked in. Everyone was there drinking, It was great atmosphere. And then three fellas just walked in, stopped in the middle, bagpipes. Everyone was like, and it wasn't like a thing like nowadays. You see someone doing that and people just like give you a stink eye, don't they? But it was just, everybody was just there, banging the floor on the chairs. And it was before the game. And so it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Anyway, I just went off on
I think I've been in that bar and stood on the bar dancing because, the real party. Actually, it reminds me, the first international I went abroad, I went to the first ever Six Nations, Scotland, Italy. I went to Rome, and it was this old stadium. It was a tiny little stadium. It was fantastic. I don't know if you've been, Sean. There was I think a train would go past, but it was so small, so you're really intimate with the players. And I remember, walking to the stadium with all the other Scottish fans, and the Italians were like watching us walking down the road, like, what's going on? Like, who are these people? And that night, I remember we were sort of teaching Italians to do the strip the willow next to the Trevi Fountain, and it was a great celebration. But it was about 3 days of drinking, and then as we got on the flight on the way back, we were actually with the Scotland team, and we were so hungover, and my friend like had his forehead on the seat in front of him, and he was just really rough. And Doddy Weir came up to him, and I think he was basically taking the piss, and he basically was like, do you want a game of chess, mate? And he was trying to get my friend to play chess, and my friend was just like, no, leave me alone. But it was great fun.
Good old Doddy. What position would you play, Sam, if you played?
Oh God. I think I'd probably have to be somewhere in the back row. I'm not fast. So I guess I'd have to put on a lot of weight and a lot of strength, but I'm not fast enough to be a winger. And
you'd like to mix it in the back.
I'll get it. Yeah.
Sean, I'll never meet Sam in person. And I'm not just saying it because I work with him and he's here or whatever, but he is a mountain of a bloke, mate. And he's pure muscle. Like, he really is. He would definitely be, if he was number 8 all the way for me. Absolutely. Smashing through everybody. Carries up the pitch. Absolutely number 8.
Cool. Look forward to meeting him. Look forward to meeting him. Who's your favourite Scotland player of all time? You mentioned Gregor Townsend, and there's been some great ones with you growing up.
Oh wow, that's a really good question. So I remember back in the day, Glenn Metcalf, these sort of backs who are so fast, agile. I love Hugh Jones. He's been injured a lot recently, but just that dynamic speed he's got and ability. I even remember Brian Redpath and all those people as well. But currently, it's got to be Hogg, hasn't it? To be honest, he's so fast. Or the Gray brothers are also equally brilliant. Real sort of workmen. They really just get in there and grind. But I think it's Hogg. It's so electric. He's so fast.
It's a good choice. We had him on a couple of weeks ago as well. Obviously, I told you.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can tell him.
He's dying to meet you. He's dying to meet you, mate.
Cool.
He said when we started the podcast, me and Sean had an idea of, whilst the Six Nations were on, keeping with the Six Nations theme, we would decide, myself and him and whichever guest we had on, we would all choose an actor to play that captain of each nation every week, and we did. Wow. we did Stuart Hogg on one, and I totally forgot that we were doing it. So on the podcast when we were recording, I just went, couldn't think. And I just went, Sam Heughan would play him. And he was on, and he was absolutely chuffed that I told him that. He was landing it.
Love it, mate. Love it. I'm a wee bit too tall, am I? He's smaller than me, definitely.
That's what he said. He said he'd have to put on a bit of muscle then if he was going to play.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and shave my head. Yeah.
It was definitely a man crush there, wasn't it? Definitely.
Oh,
definitely. That's it.
Sam, tell me, you a couple of months ago now, obviously you're going back to yourself and what you're going to be up to and that. There's announcement a couple of months ago when we were shooting that you were going to be taking up a role of a real human being that is a very famous human being. Would you like to talk
Feels
about?
Like you're leading me somewhere with this, Cal.
I was leading you down a dark road somewhere, mate.
Yeah.
No, you're going to be playing Paul Newman, no?
That's right, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Are we allowed to talk about that? Or?
A real human being. Yeah, no, of course we can. Yeah, it's, to be honest, it's actually a very small part. I mean, he's by no means a small character, but it's a movie about Roald Dahl and his wife, Patricia Neal, about how they basically lost tragically one of their daughters, and out of their sort of coming to terms with that and the grief of that comes creativity. And Roald Dahl went off to write Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And Patricia Neal went on to win an Oscar for her performance in HUD, which is a movie with Paul Newman. And very briefly, I'm in the movie as Paul Newman, rehearsing HUD with Patricia. And so I was only on the film a couple of days, but yeah, what an amazing character, and what a great opportunity to play an icon of America, a man who was very philanthropic, a great motorsport racer. I'm a big fan of all sport really, and motor racing is one of them. But just a really decent guy as well. So, and I got to watch a lot of his movies, which was really good.
He's in some amazing movies, wasn't he? We had Jonathan Jiffy Davis on the other week, and he listed in his top 3 movies, he listed Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which is a classic, isn't it?
Classic. I love all of them. I mean, my favorite is probably Hustler. But even Color of Money, that is such an amazing movie. But yeah, what a great guy. And I keep, every time I sort of read about him or find out more stuff, you just find out that he was actually a really decent human being as well. Obviously he had his charitable foundations, his salad dressings and all that. But there was a story about one of the first ever African-American racing drivers, and he was kind of influential in sort of getting him a seat, getting him a drive as well. So amazing guy.
If you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have, Sam. Kyle, here's one for you. My favourite Paul Newman film after Butch Cassidy, Slapshot. Right?
I haven't seen it. I've got it. I haven't seen
ice hockey film, Slapshot, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Coach, isn't he?
Yeah, player coach is brilliant.
Something like that.
Eh?
Does he play like the enforcer for the ice hockey team or something?
He's an old pro who, was the man, and then takes up like a coaching role, ends up playing. I won't give too much away, but it's classic sort of old school American sport in, Paul Newman, great.
Well, I think we're all sports fans, and Kyle's showing it there with his Kansas hat. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of ice hockey and American football as well. And I'm sort of talking at the moment and circling a couple of sort of football movies. So it'd be really cool to go and be in something like that.
Football movies or our football movies?
Football movies.
Football movies.
Football movies. Yeah.
If they need any defense, frontline offense, defense, with the big bellies, tell them I'm free.
He's free. I got it. I'd love to. It'd be amazing.
When are you going to be the next? When are you going to be the next Scottish James Bond then, Sam? Come on, that would be something to aspire to, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah. That'd be an amazing role. I reckon Kyle could play the evil genius.
Odd job. We're there.
You got it.
Most of our listeners can't see this, but
he's thrown his Kansas City hat.
I just knocked Amy out. She's gone.
You got the job.
Thanks.
Dangerous with a hat. Yeah. I know it would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But I think it's one of those parts that everyone likes to talk about and try and guess who's going to be the next Bond, and I don't know who it's going to be. I think it'll be a tough job whoever gets it. The Bond films I'm a huge fan, obviously, and Sean Connery, one of the greatest Bonds, I think. I actually love Timothy Dalton as well. I love The Living Daylight. But I don't know. I'm excited to see who gets it.
Yeah.
Sam, do you remember Pete Lincoln by any chance?
Pete Lincoln. Yeah, what, from drama school?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you know the story about him and Sean Connery for James Bond?
I believe. Tell us the story.
Well, saying that, I was hoping you could tell us because I only vaguely know it. But I think I've got the gist of it. Basically, when we went to the same drama school, there's a movement teacher there called Pete Lincoln, and he went to Lecoq School of Movement, which is a world-renowned school in Paris for movement or physicality, that type of thing. And he apparently got offered the role of James Bond.
Yeah, what I heard, yeah.
And turned it down because he went to the Lecoq School of Movement or something like that, because they used to call him the Cat. Did you get that as well?
I didn't know that. He's a great guy. He had one of these voices like, he's totally that. Hey, don't lose in the eyes. You lost it in the eyes.
Yeah, he was like one of those teachers that you see and you just think you definitely know as soon as the lecture's over, the class is over, he's going back and he's smashing the whiskey like straight. He's just like, oh, can't be asked for these students.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I was named after Sean Connery.
Were you?
I was going to ask.
Yeah, I was. My massive Sean Connery fan named me after Sean. So yeah.
Hey,
I was trying to.
What time?
Trying to work out where he is.
10ish.
What was that?
What time does Sean Connery get to Wimbledon? 10ish.
Fantastic.
We'll cut that, bit. It's fine. We'll cut all that.
Keep it.
So, Sam, before we let you go, now obviously you're working out and you're in Hawaii, so you're not one to be sitting in and watching TV. But have you got a box set? Have you got a film that you'd like to watch? Or is this a series that you're watching in lockdown at the moment?
Oh God, yeah. I kind of don't want to tell you because it's kind of embarrassing. But there's well, firstly, I've been actually watching a lot of NFL. There's lots of like docu shows about them. I love, School of Hard Knocks and Last Chance U, and there's one I'm watching now, Undefeated. It's fantastic. But then one of my guilty pleasures is something called 90 Day Fiance. So you can cut that out.
Right. Last Chance U is really good. I've watched pretty much all of them. I love all that sort of fly on the wall stuff. Guys. QB1, I think, is another one, isn't it?
QB1 is fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, really good, really good.
What's the one on Amazon? They've got like 5 of them now. They've got the LA Chargers. They've got the Panthers.
Is it All or Nothing?
All or Nothing. Yeah. Those are really, really good as well. I love. They also done an All Blacks one of those as well. Which was
an All Blacks and a Man City one.
That's it.
Yeah. I love those kind of shows. As you said, Sean, it's like, fly on the wall. You get to see like, behind the scenes, the players kind of training and how they, their everyday life. And I love that. And I don't know, it kind of, as an actor as well, you kind of imagine yourself there and wanting to do it. God, I'd love to have been a sportsman.
Do you ever remember a film, right? It's an American football film, and I only know it because when I was quite young, I'm sure my brother or one of my sisters used to watch it, and it was, I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure Michelle Pfeiffer was in it, and they used to sing a song, and they'd go, dun, 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 football, and then that was it. And I think the kit that they wore was black. Does that sound familiar?
We're going to cut this bit out.
I'm going to have to, yeah.
We're not going to have a podcast there if not after I cut all this out. I
think what you might mean is Burt Reynolds, Longest Yard, Mean Machine.
No, it's not that. It's not
no?
that. Definitely Michelle Pfeiffer. She comes in.
I don't want to Google.
Kind of like her role in, it was like a rehearsal really for her role in Dangerous Minds, where she came into this class full of like delinquents and then turned them into a really successful football, high school football side. I'm sure.
Not The Blind Side. That's Sandra Bullock, isn't it?
Sandra Bullock, that no. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just wasting airspace. Like
there's so many great American sport movies though, and And actually, I mean, thinking of rugby, good movies. I mean, we've had one, but there aren't a hell of a lot of them. But I love, baseball ones as well. What was that one? They were the League of Their Own with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Field of Dreams, another one. Kevin Costner.
Costner, amazing. Yeah, really good. Really good.
Rookie, you've seen that one?
No.
Sorry,
The Rookie.
Jesus Christ.
I thought you said
rinsing me on this podcast. Like, it's just like being in flipping work with you, Sam.
That's
What's
it.
the one with Charlie Sheen?
This is about as much attention as I ever give you.
What's the one with Charlie Sheen and he plays like that? Wild Thing, man. Have you seen that one? All right.
No.
I quit the podcast and go in.
Okay, Sam. Look, we need to get from you a couple of things. We do with all our special guests. Firstly, who would play Sam Heughan in the epic that is The Life and Times of Sam Heughan? Who would play you? Come on.
I mean, the obvious answer is Kyle Reese, but he'd have to shave a bit, especially his back. Let me think. Who would I like to play me? That's a tough one. I guess I know there's so many great actors out there at the moment, but I'd love to think it was Brad Pitt.
I knew you were going to say that for some reason. I knew it. Well, like True Romance, Brad Pitt, though, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
a bit younger, a younger Brad Pitt.
So, Sam, give us your top 3 movies of all time, please.
Wow, that's a tough one, my friend. But I think firstly, a movie that I love is, and actually it's part of a series, is Aliens. I love the Alien movies. Yeah. The second in particular, really good. I think anything after Alien 3 we don't talk about, but I love those movies. So good, so scary. Second movie would have to be, I was watching it, and there's a segue there through Ridley Scott. He obviously did the first Alien movie. I love Gladiator. I was watching it a couple of nights ago, and so good. I love that sequence right at the start when Russell Crowe's telling them that they find themselves riding alone with the wind in their hair, and there's not to worry, they're already in Elysium and they're dead already. I love all that stuff.
It's a brilliant film.
Thirdly, I think it's got to be Invictus if we're talking about rugby.
Fair play.
South Africa. You've got Morgan Freeman, Matt Damon. It's an amazing movie, and it was such a sort of seminal time in that story of that country, but also of rugby as well.
Right then, Sean, you're going to do Up and Under now with Mr. Heughan?
Yeah, we're just going to keep Up and Under now, Sam. So just quick fire question.
Bring it on.
With no delay. You've got to pick one, right? You ready for this?
Oh, God. Okay, let's do this.
Okay, Sam Heughan, you're going Up and Under. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
London or LA?
London.
TV or film?
Film, all the time.
MMA or rugby?
Or rugby, come on. It's basically MMA on a pitch.
Whiskey or gin?
Whiskey, and you can buy my new Sassenach very soon.
Yes, I hope so.
Lovely. Now then, vegan burger or beef burger?
I'm going to have to say vegan burger, I'm sorry.
And last but not least, Katrina Balfe or Mila Kunis?
Who was the first one, sorry?
Katrina Balfe or Mila Kunis?
Oh, that's really tough, guys. Exactly. Come on, you can't say it.
No, we asked Katrina at the end of her episode, Christian Bale or Sam Heughan, and she went, "Oh, that's a really tough one." And she went, "Do you know what? Matt Damon."
Brilliant. That's just brilliant.
Mate, thank you so much for giving up some of your time. I know it's really early over there in Hawaii for you. Really appreciate you coming on, mate.
No, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks, Sean. It was great to chat to you boys, and keep up with the great work.
Stay safe, Sam. Good to see you. Thank you.
Cheers, lads.
Yeah. Take care, boys. Bye-bye.